Hey, good morning. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Driving while talking about markets. Anything said in this piece is an opinion only. Let's kick off. So the Wall Street, the Nasdaq, S&P and European markets were concerned about corporate earnings. So all the Nasdaq was down, the Googles, the CRMs, the Amazons, Intel was down, the semiconductor sector was down, following on from concerns that are they going to be able to stand up to their corporate earnings? But if we look at the other side of the coin, the flip coin on that, we look at Uber, the Dara Khoshodari, I think his name is Dara Khoshodari. He is the CEO and the owner of Uber. In fact, he set up Uber. They had a massive jump in corporate profits, and he said the COVID-19, the pandemic, the Chinese flu effect is now over and they're back to making massive profits. So Uber shot up over 5.5% and looks like it will go higher because Uber could be now the main form of travel globally within each country, beating all the standard taxis. So it's an interesting one to look at. But looking at the downside of the other stocks in the high-tech sector, they're all concerned about corporate earnings. Now, Michael Burry, who was the architect behind the Big Short in 2008, is stated that we're in for a crash of enormous measure in 2023. And I've been saying also that we're in for a massive crash, much bigger than 2008. And the reason behind that is quite simple. There is extreme high asset prices, bigger than the .com or similar to a .com, highly inflated, overvalued stocks that have not yet come down. Even though they came down in 2022, that's nothing to where they need to come down to. Now, what's going to happen this time is that you won't have the quantitative easing and you won't have the central banks intervening to re-inflate the economy. Because if they were to do that, they'll have inflation at 25-30%. So when the crash comes, and it will come, and it will be a massive crash, there'll be no savior there. There'll be nothing there to save it. There won't be China, and there won't be the Fed, and there won't be the Bank of England, and there won't be the ECB, because they can't go back into piling in liquidity into the market. So anyone who's long of stock needs to be aware of that. In addition, other assets will crash also, things like the cryptocurrencies and of course Bitcoin. And if there is a market crash, and we're talking about 25-30% here in a market crash, you'll see Bitcoin down at around about the $5,000 level or even lower. So be prepared for that. We are heading for a major crash. Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. You can catch me on TikTok and on Instagram. Have a good day.